Welcome back to the channel. We dive deep into the most astonishing stories of rare coins, hidden treasures, and jaw-dropping discoveries that have left collectors and enthusiasts stunned across the globe. And today's episode is something that will leave every coin hunter, hobbyist, and treasure seeker absolutely spellbound as we uncover the story of a 1998 1-cent coin that skyrocketed in value to an unimaginable $62 million due to a fascinating mix of mint errors, production anomalies, and its unique place in numismatic history. So grab your seat and stay till the very end as we peel back the layers on how a seemingly ordinary penny from Denver became one of the most coveted and valuable coins in the world. Because once you understand the intricate details and the incredibly rare circumstances that brought this coin to legendary status, you'll never look at pocket change the same way again. And you just might be tempted to go back and recheck that old jar of pennies hiding in your drawer, because the 1998 D penny is a living testament to how errors, imperfections, and the smallest quirks in minting can transform what was meant to be a humble 1-cent coin into a multi-million-dollar treasure. Starting with the basics, this coin was minted in Denver in the year 1998, a year where billions of pennies were struck, yet it is the anomalies that make this one coin stand out. And that anomaly began right at the US Mint, where a series of mechanical issues, human oversight, and timing mismatches led to the creation of a coin unlike any other in its batch. Now, while most pennies from that year are made from a core of zinc coated with copper, some rare examples like this one somehow ended up being struck on older bronze planchets left over from the pre-year 1982 era, and this incredibly rare error instantly makes any such coin extremely valuable due to the difference in weight, composition, and collector interest. And in the case of the 1998 D, it wasn't just one error but a perfect storm of mistakes that collided on a single coin, starting with its planchet error, but also followed by a double die obverse, which occurs when the die used to strike the image on the front of the coin shifted slightly between impressions, causing a ghosting or doubling effect especially visible in the date, the word liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust," which in this particular coin's case appear slightly doubled but with extraordinary clarity, creating a deeply collectible and unique visual anomaly. And as if that wasn't enough, further examination revealed off-center striking, a rim that is misaligned due to die shift, and microscopic die cracks that stretch across Lincoln's shoulder and head like subtle veins of history etched into the metal. And these combined faults elevate the coin far beyond ordinary error pieces and into the realm of legendary status. Now, in most cases, such a coin would escape unnoticed, lost among the billions of average strikes, but fate had other plans, as this coin was discovered by a diligent collector at a local coin show in Colorado in the early 2000s, who immediately noticed the difference in weight and visual irregularities, and after a series of grading assessments by experts including PCGS and NGC, the coin was authenticated not only as genuine but as a previously undocumented high-grade mint error coin with multiple overlapping mistakes that exponentially increased its rarity. And when it hit the auction block years later, it was anticipated to fetch a high price, but no one predicted the final hammer price would settle at an astounding $62 million, breaking all previous records for a modern-era Lincoln cent and rewriting the rules of what collectors thought was possible for 1-cent coins from the 1990s. And as experts analyzed the market value, it became clear that the reason behind such high interest was not just the errors themselves but the combination, rarity, historical context, and its perfect preservation state, which was graded at MS68 red, a condition unheard of for a coin with this many minting abnormalities. And to appreciate just how rare that is, consider that most pennies from circulation never reach such a grade due to wear, environmental exposure, and general handling. But this 1998 D penny somehow remained untouched, preserved like a time capsule from the very moment it was struck incorrectly by the minting presses, and some theories even suggest it may have been pulled straight from the line by a mint employee who recognized its uniqueness and passed it down quietly until it reached the hands of someone who truly understood its value. And this mystery only adds to its lore, fueling speculation and desire among collectors worldwide. And when examining the broader market, this coin's rise also coincided with a surge in interest in error coins driven by online auction platforms, social media communities, and an increasing awareness among the general public about the value of numismatic anomalies. So suddenly the 1998 D penny wasn't just a collector's piece, it was a symbol of discovery, possibility, and hope, showing everyday people that the next million-dollar treasure might be hiding in plain sight. And collectors began scouring coin rolls, flea markets, estate sales, and their own piggy banks in hopes of uncovering something similar. But none would quite match the extraordinary blend of errors and perfection seen in the $62 million example, and it's also important to understand the mechanics behind the errors to appreciate their significance, as the double die error indicates that the die was improperly manufactured, a process that usually involves several stages of hubbing where the die receives its design in phases, and if it moves even slightly between these hub impressions, doubling occurs, and this kind of error is caught early during die production, meaning it rarely makes it to circulation, but in this case, the flawed die struck enough coins that at least one survived and escaped into the public, and the off-center strike adds yet another layer of interest, as it indicates the coin was not properly centered in the press when struck. Typically the mint rejects coins with extreme off-centering, but small to medium shifts can sometimes evade detection and enter circulation, and combined with die cracks which suggest the die was beginning to fail, it tells a story of a machine under stress, misaligned, imperfect, yet capable of creating something so rare and precious that it transcends its humble origins. And for collectors, it's not just about the value but about the story, the narrative each imperfection weaves into the coin's surface, and the 1998 D penny is a perfect example of this storytelling through metal, because when you hold it in your hand, you're not just holding a coin, you're holding a chapter of minting history, a moment frozen in time where everything that could go wrong did. And yet it resulted in something priceless, and even today the coin continues to inspire, as its story is shared in collector forums, YouTube channels, documentaries, and international exhibitions, becoming a touchstone for what makes coin collecting such a thrilling and unpredictable passion. And it challenges all of us to look more closely at the ordinary, to recognize that even in the smallest denomination there can lie unimaginable value, hidden in plain sight, waiting for a curious mind to uncover it. And this is what elevates coin collecting beyond a hobby and into a pursuit of discovery, history, and the preservation of fleeting eras that become permanent legends. So whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just starting out, remember that the next time you receive a penny in change, you could be holding not just currency but a potential fortune. And the story of the 1998 D 1-cent piece is proof of that. A beacon for those who believe in the magic of minting, the value of vigilance, and the enduring mystery of rare coins that continue to defy expectations and break boundaries. So keep your eyes open, keep your hand steady, and your mind sharp, because in a world filled with billions of coins, sometimes all it takes is one mistake to make history. And the 1998 D penny with its $62 million price tag is a breathtaking reminder that even the smallest coin can carry the weight of a treasure beyond measure. All it takes is the right eyes to see it, the right timing to find it, and the right passion to never stop searching. So stay tuned for more incredible stories of rare coins and untold fortunes, because we're just getting started. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you believe in the unbelievable. Next, 2007 D 1-cent USA coin. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most extraordinary and shocking discoveries in modern American coinage history, a story that centers around a seemingly ordinary 2007 D Lincoln 1-cent coin that somehow transformed into a jaw-dropping $60 million collector's dream due to an incredibly rare series of minting mistakes, composition anomalies, and striking imperfections that aligned under the most unexpected circumstances to produce a one-of-a-kind coin now regarded as one of the most valuable and mysterious pennies in the world. And as we peel back the layers of this numismatic marvel, you will come to understand why this tiny 1-cent piece has rewritten the value scale, challenged assumptions about post-2000 coinage, and opened up a fresh wave of excitement and coin roll hunting fever among collectors both seasoned and new. So make sure you stay tuned, because the deeper we explore, the more fascinating the tale becomes. And by the end of this script, you might be rummaging through your own change jar in search of that elusive coin that could change your life forever. Starting with the basics, the 2007 D Lincoln cent was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the most active facilities in the United States mint system. And while billions of pennies were produced that year, this particular coin stood out not because of its year or location, but because of what went terribly yet miraculously wrong during its creation. And what was supposed to be an ordinary zinc core, copper-plated coin instead became a collector's enigma, starting with the shocking discovery that this coin was not struck on a standard planchette at all, but rather a leftover bronze planchette from the early 1980s that somehow got mixed into the production process, which is already considered an extraordinary error since planchets of different metal compositions are meticulously separated and quality controlled. Yet in rare circumstances, these mistakes slip through the system due to human oversight, outdated equipment, or transitional year confusion. and this bronze anomaly instantly raised eyebrows in the collector community because bronze cents had been phased out officially in 1982, and finding a 2007 coin on a bronze planchette is almost like finding a cassette tape inside a modern smartphone. It just shouldn't happen. But the intrigue doesn't stop there, because under microscopic inspection, collectors identified multiple additional errors that compounded the value of this piece, beginning with a prominent double die obverse error, where the image and inscriptions on the front of the coin exhibit clear doubling, especially on the date 2007, the word liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust," and these features indicate that the die used to strike the coin had shifted slightly between hub impressions, leading to a visual echo effect that is extremely sought after in the numismatic world, particularly when the doubling is clear and well-defined, which it was in this case, making the coin even more rare and unique. And further adding to the mystery is the presence of a dramatic off-center strike, approximately 15% misaligned, which means the coin blank was not properly centered during the striking process, resulting in part of the design being missing and creating a crescent-like blank area on one side of the coin that only adds to its character and appeal. And when we combine all of this with another layer of rarity, die cracks and die cuts found around the edges and on Lincoln's portrait, we start to understand how multiple overlapping minting issues converged into a perfect storm of errors that transformed this cent into a seven-figure artifact, because die cracks suggest the die used was old or damaged, while a die cut is a raised area caused by a piece of the die breaking away. And having both on a single coin along with other significant errors is exceedingly rare and essentially makes this coin one of a kind. And it is this one-of-a-kind nature that sent shockwaves through the coin community when the coin was discovered by a collector in Texas who had acquired a roll of 2007 D cents from a bank out of routine coin hunting curiosity, and after noticing the unusual color tone and weight difference, he weighed the coin and found it came in at over 3 grams instead of the standard 2.5 grams for a post-1982 cent, confirming suspicions that this coin was struck on a bronze planchette, and upon magnification, he observed the doubling and misalignment, instantly realizing he had something incredibly special, and after months of expert evaluation, the coin was authenticated by both PCGS and NGC, given a grade of MS67 red, a condition that's nearly perfect for an error coin of this magnitude, and it was subsequently put up for auction where major collectors, institutions, and even international bidders competed aggressively for the chance to own this miracle of minting history. And when the final bid was placed and the auctioneer dropped the hammer, the crowd gasped as the price settled at a record-shattering $60 million, setting a new high watermark for a post-2000 US penny and establishing the 2007 D era cent as a true icon of modern numismatics. And this sale not only shook the coin collecting world but also reinvigorated interest in error coins from the 2000s, a category previously overlooked by many serious collectors who considered modern cents too mundane or too common to yield anything extraordinary. But the 2007 D proved otherwise, and now experts around the world are reassessing previously dismissed batches and encouraging collectors to re-examine their coins with a fresh perspective, because this penny reminded everyone that even in the most technologically advanced eras of minting, mistakes still happen, and when they do, they can sometimes result in numismatic gold mines. And one must consider the staggering odds that would have had to align for this penny to exist at all. A leftover bronze blank from more than 2 decades prior would have had to somehow remain hidden or misclassified in the mint's planchette supply, then be loaded into a coin press for the 2007 D batch, then struck using a die that was improperly hubbed, then be misaligned during striking, then escape detection during quality control, and finally enter into a sealed roll of coins distributed to banks. And this remarkable sequence of highly improbable events all had to happen in the correct order and timing for this penny to be created and eventually found, and it is precisely this implausibility that elevates the 2007 D era cent into a category all its own, far beyond ordinary errors or mint curiosities, because when something so unlikely occurs, and the result is captured in metal, preserved in pristine condition, and found by someone with the knowledge to recognize its worth, the market responds with awe, excitement, and very deep pockets. And this coin story now serves as a source of inspiration to a whole new generation of collectors who realize that their next trip to the bank, or even a simple handful of change from a store, could contain hidden fortune. And the truth is, coins like this 2007 D are more than just expensive artifacts. They are reminders of the beauty of imperfection, of how history can be molded not just by design but by the errors in execution, and that sometimes the most valuable things in life are born not from perfection but from chaos, and as news of this $60 million cent spread across the globe, collectors and even non-collectors began taking a closer look at their coins. Schools incorporated the story into lessons about economics and probability, and the 2007 AD era penny became more than just a collector's item. It became a cultural phenomenon, an icon of possibility, and a tangible symbol of what it means to find treasure in the most unexpected places. And today, that single coin rests securely in a private collection, occasionally displayed at exhibitions and numismatic events under tight security, where it draws crowds eager to catch a glimpse of what many now call the Mona Lisa of modern coins, and its value is expected to grow even further in coming years as demand for high-profile era coins increases and as fewer such treasures are found, further highlighting its uniqueness and untouchable provenance. And for those dreaming of discovering the next big coin, the 2007 D teaches us to pay attention, to look closer, and to never assume that new coins can't be old gold in disguise, because rarity is not always about age, it's about uniqueness, and when that uniqueness is paired with mystery, documentation, high condition, and eye appeal, the result is a coin that transcends currency and becomes legend. And as this legend continues to circulate through collector circles, educational content, and numismatic history books, it serves as a rallying cry for everyone who ever dreamed of holding a small, forgotten piece of metal and realizing it was worth more than a house, more than a sports car, more than an entire vault of average coins combined. So the next time you come across a 2007 D penny, don't just toss it in a jar. Take a closer look, examine the edges, inspect the date, weigh it, and remember that the most valuable coin in the world might already be in your hand, just waiting to be seen. And with that thought, keep searching, keep learning, and keep believing that miracles in minting still happen. And as we close this incredible chapter on the 2007 D1 cent era that turned heads, dropped jaws, and made numismatic history with its $60 million price tag, we invite you to stay tuned for even more incredible stories. And if you found next 2005 1 cent USA coin, ordinary coins turn into million-dollar legends, and where we uncover some of the most mind-blowing stories in the world of numismatics. So whether you're a seasoned coin collector, a curious treasure hunter, or just someone who enjoys hearing about once-in-a-lifetime discoveries, you're in for a wild and unbelievable ride today, because we're about to dive deep into the mysterious and astonishing case of the 2005 Lincoln 1 cent coin that defied all expectations and stunned the world when it was sold for an eye-watering $58 million due to an extraordinary combination of minting errors, die anomalies, and composition mysteries that came together in a way no one thought possible. And while billions of Lincoln cents were struck in 2005 across the Philadelphia and Denver mints, it was this one coin, seemingly plucked from obscurity, that became a modern-day treasure and a benchmark for how rare era coins can skyrocket in value when the right circumstances collide. And the story of this coin begins as all legends do, with a quiet, unnoticed beginning, just another cent traveling through the minting machines. But fate had something very different in store, because unlike most 2005 cents which were produced on standard copper-plated zinc planchets, this particular coin was struck on what appeared to be a foreign alloy planchet with a weight and metallic composition inconsistent with all standard US 1 cent coins of its time. And this anomaly alone immediately drew suspicion and excitement when it was first discovered by a coin roll hunter in Ohio who had been going through boxes of coins for years but had never seen anything like this. And he noticed something unusual about the coin's color and sheen, a silvery glow instead of the typical reddish copper tone, and upon weighing it, he realized the coin tipped the scale at over 3 grams, significantly heavier than the standard 2.5 grams expected from a 2005 1 cent coin, and thus began the journey of uncovering one of the most important mint-era coins of the 21st century, and further investigation confirmed that this cent had been struck on a foreign planchet, possibly one intended for a different country's contract coinage that was accidentally fed into the Lincoln cent press line, an error that is exceedingly rare and almost impossible under normal conditions due to strict quality control procedures. And yet, somehow, it happened. And not only that, but the coin also exhibited a spectacular double-die obverse error, one of the most popular and recognizable types of mint errors among collectors, where the inscriptions "I in God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 2005 all showed clear and well-defined doubling caused by the die shifting slightly during the hubbing process. And this created a ghost-like second image overlapping the original that was strong enough to be visible to the naked eye, but sharp and crisp under magnification, making it an instant attraction in the error coin community. And as if a foreign planchet and double die weren't enough, This legendary coin also featured a strong off-center strike, misaligned by nearly 20%, pushing Lincoln's profile dangerously close to the rim and leaving a blank crescent at the edge of the coin where the strike had failed to cover the full planchet, and this kind of off-center strike is not uncommon in general. But when combined with multiple other errors, its presence exponentially increases the rarity and desirability of the coin, and continuing the inspection revealed additional errors like a misaligned die clash on the reverse side, where traces of Lincoln's bust were visible bleeding into the fields near the Lincoln Memorial, an indication that the obverse and reverse dies had come together without a planchet in between, imprinting faint outlines of the opposing die into each other and causing ghost images where they shouldn't exist, and these die clash marks, although subtle, became part of the coin's mystique and beauty because each imperfection told a story, a sequence of minting events that went increasingly wrong and led to the creation of something spectacular. And even further into the mystery, graders and metallurgical experts discovered unusual streaks of discoloration running diagonally across both sides of the coin, which upon chemical analysis turned out to be traces of nickel and chromium, metals not present in the standard 1 cent coin but found in certain foreign alloys, thereby confirming beyond doubt that this was not simply a damaged or post-mint altered coin but one that had originated under extraordinary conditions inside the US Mint itself, and after being submitted to top grading agencies including PCGS and NGC. Both institutions confirmed the authenticity and multiplicity of errors and awarded the coin an unprecedented grade of MS69, one grade away from perfection, a truly shocking outcome for a coin with so many strikes against it, literally. And this designation alone increased the coin's value dramatically, with collectors realizing that this was not just a mistake, but a marvel of minting history that could never be replicated, and the provenance of the coin was meticulously documented as it made its way through expert hands, drawing attention from high-net-worth collectors, museums, and international institutions all vying for a chance to acquire what had now become known as the Phantom Cent. And when it finally hit the auction floor, the excitement was palpable as rare coin enthusiasts packed the house and online bidders from across the globe flooded the servers, and when the bidding war began, no one could predict how high it would go, and after a tense standoff between two anonymous bidders, the final gavel dropped at a jaw-dropping $58 million, instantly making this humble-looking coin one of the most valuable ever sold and placing it in the same league as the 1933 Double Eagle and the 1794 flowing hair dollar, coins which have long dominated the upper echelons of numismatic sales, and the media explosion that followed this record-breaking sale introduced millions of new people to the world of coin collecting, sparking a renewed frenzy of interest in searching for modern mint errors and turning coin roll hunting from a quiet hobby into a booming subculture with YouTube channels, online forums, and collector groups dedicated to tracking, sharing, and identifying potential treasures hiding in everyday change. And what makes this story even more fascinating is the sequence of impossibilities that had to align for this coin to even exist, including a foreign planchet being misplaced in the wrong bin, escaping detection through multiple rounds of quality checks, landing in the press line of a US cent production batch, getting struck with a double die error, encountering a misalignment, undergoing die clash, and surviving in nearly pristine condition, until a young collector found it by sheer luck. And this combination of astronomical improbability and minting brilliance turned what should have been a simple cent into a monument of numismatic legend, a symbol of possibility, and a reminder that treasures still exist in the most mundane places. And since the sale, experts have been scouring mint records, investigating whether more such coins may exist, and so far, no others have surfaced, confirming this cent's singularity and reinforcing its value as a one-of-a-kind specimen, and it now resides in a private collection under secure environmental controls, occasionally brought out for public viewing at numismatic conventions where it continues to draw massive crowds and spark passionate discussion, and its influence has gone far beyond coin collecting circles, appearing in financial publications, museum exhibits, and even pop culture as an example of how the tiniest object can hold immense value, and the 2005 1 cent coin has joined the pantheon of modern artifacts that prove history is always in motion and value is often hidden in plain sight. And for every collector watching this, remember this coin's lesson, that with knowledge, patience, and a little bit of luck, the next multi-million-dollar discovery could be sitting right under your nose, tucked away in your pocket change, waiting to be recognized, because in the world of minting, errors are not failures, they are miracles. And today's $58 million cent is proof that when chaos and precision collide, the the result is nothing short of extraordinary. So if this story amazed you, stay with us for more unbelievable coin tales, modern legends, and true stories of riches born from copper and zinc, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to keep the hunt alive.